Ever read something, maybe even a really powerful book, and then find that the details just kind of disappear?
Oh, definitely.
Or if you're in a Christian book club, maybe you feel like the talks just, stay on the surface sometimes when you're hoping for more.
Yeah, that feeling, that wanting to go deeper, I think that's pretty common.
Right.
We put in the time to read, and, well, it's natural to want something lasting out of it, discussions that really stick with you.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that, how to really get more from our reading, specifically thinking about Christian book clubs.
Okay.
We're going to look at some ideas from Pastor Jung. He's got some really insightful ways to think about how preparing intentionally can, well, transform the whole group experience.
That's a great focus. Pastor Jung's ideas aren't just about, getting through the pages.
Yeah.
It's more about actively engaging beforehand,
Yeah.
doing things that unlock a richer understanding and better connections in the group itself. It's like finding a shortcut to those moments, those aha insights that actually stay with you.
So, yeah, our mission today is to unpack Pastor Jung's strategy for preparing for a Christian book club. He really believes that a bit of focused work before the meeting can seriously lift the whole thing up for everyone.
And he brings a lot of experience, you know, from leading these groups himself. He's seen firsthand what works.
What actually helps people connect?
Exactly. Connect with the material and, just as importantly, with each other on a deeper level.
Okay, let's dig in then. Pastor Jung really stresses that, sure, just reading the book is good,
It has its benefits, yeah.
but actually preparing for the discussion, that can lead to some pretty amazing things happening in the group.
It's kind of like the difference between just mentioning you saw a movie
Uh-huh.
and actually sitting down and talking about its themes, its impact,
Mhm.
really getting into it.
That's a good analogy. And what's great about his approach is how, well, practical it is.
Totally. He doesn't just say engage more. He gives actual concrete steps you can take before you even walk into the room. Things to boost your own understanding.
Okay, so what's the first big step he recommends?
The first key thing, according to Pastor Jung, is summarization.
Summarization. Okay.
He suggests actually writing out a short summary of what you read. Maybe a paragraph, perhaps up to half a page.
Now, I get that for some people, summarizing might feel a bit like, schoolwork.
It can feel that way initially, yeah.
But his reason behind it, uh, it really clicks when you think about how we actually learn and remember stuff.
He basically argues that the act of summarizing, it forces you to read differently. More focus, more activity.
You can't just skim it then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to really pinpoint the main arguments, the core ideas, and, importantly, how they all link together.
Ah, okay.
Think of it like active recall. You're pulling the information back out and putting it in your own words.
Mm-hmm.
That's super powerful for memory and real understanding.
Right. It's like wrestling with the text yourself instead of just letting the words wash over you. And if you really want to grasp what you're reading without getting totally lost in the weeds, this kind of focused work sounds, well, really useful. Helps you see the author's logic, maybe.
Definitely helps see the structure, yeah. And Pastor Jung, he's quite aware that summarizing is tricky for some folks.
Okay, so what if you find it hard?
He gives a really great, accessible alternative. Just jot down one or two sentences that really jumped out at you. Your favorite sentences, he calls them.
Oh, I like that. That feels much less daunting.
It really is. He even mentions using this in smaller church groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, specifically asking everyone, even older members, maybe folks in their 70s, just to find one sentence they liked.
That makes it so much more approachable, doesn't it? Lowers the bar for preparation.
Totally. And even that simple task, finding a favorite sentence, it still pushes you to pay closer attention while reading.
You're actively searching for something.
You're looking for something that connects, something that sparks a thought or maybe a feeling. And the amazing part is what happens next.
When people share these.
Yes. When they share these individual sentences or their summaries, it creates this collective insight.
Like everyone was noticing different things.
Exactly. It's like everyone brings a different piece of the puzzle, maybe pieces you didn't even notice yourself.
Ah, so you get a much fuller picture of the text together.
Yeah, a richer, almost like three-dimensional view. It really shows how our own personal encounters with a book can light up different parts of its meaning.
One person picks up on theology, another on a beautiful phrase.
Right.
Yeah.
And together, you build a much more complete understanding. It's quite synergistic.
Okay, so step one, summarize or at least note down a favorite sentence or two. Makes sense. What's the second key preparation step from Pastor Young?
The second vital step is about reflecting on your personal feelings.
Feelings. Okay, tell me more.
He suggests actually noting down the emotions that the reading brought up for you. Was it, joy, sadness, maybe conviction, or any other feeling that surfaced while you were reading?
Oh, that's interesting. That feels like a really smart way to make the whole discussion feel more, well, personal and maybe less intimidating.
Exactly.
Instead of feeling pressure to have some like huge theological breakthrough,
Right.
you're just invited to connect emotionally. He actually points out that asking about feelings makes the whole book club idea maybe more inclusive, more accessible.
Yes, he talks about taking something that can feel a bit elite, like a book club, and making it work for everyone. And there's a real link, he believes, between our emotions and our understanding.
How so?
Well, when something makes you feel something, it often means it's hit on something important to you.
Ah, okay.
So thinking about why you felt that way can lead you to deeper thoughts about what the passage means and maybe what it means for your own life.
That makes a lot of sense. It takes the reading beyond just head knowledge
Mm-hmm.
and lets it actually connect with your heart, acknowledging those feelings. Yeah, I can see how that helps internalize the message more deeply, makes it more impactful.
And Pastor Young suggests that focusing on those personally resonant emotions can actually, strengthen your faith. It can motivate you to live differently in a way that honors God.
Because it's touched you personally.
Exactly. It helps the book's message really take root.
Okay, great. So we've got summarizing or picking favorite sentences and then reflecting on feelings. What's the third piece Pastor Jung highlights for good preparation?
The third crucial element is identifying a practical application.
The so what factor.
Precisely. Pastor Young directly addresses that common frustration, why do I read so much but nothing really changes in my life?
Yeah, that hits home for a lot of us, I think.
His answer really boils down to commitment. We need to personally commit to putting what we learn into practice.
It's not enough just to absorb it intellectually.
Nope. True transformation needs action. He even brings up Jesus' teaching, about the wise person being the one who hears and acts.
Right, the wise builder.
Exactly. So connecting understanding to doing is key. He encourages finding just one specific actionable thing you can do based on the reading.
Just one thing, not a whole life overhaul.
Just one specific step. It doesn't have to be massive, just something concrete you can actually implement.
And the power in that, I guess, is thinking about it before the meeting.
Yes. It pushes you to engage proactively. You're not just passively waiting for the discussion to tell you what to do.
You're already thinking, okay, how does this apply to me?
Right. And then sharing these commitments in the group,
Yeah.
well, Pastor Joe admits it can feel a bit maybe vulnerable at first.
Yeah, I can imagine putting yourself out there.
But he really emphasizes the positive side. It builds this amazing culture of accountability and mutual support.
Knowing others are trying too.
Exactly. Knowing you're not alone and trying to live out what you're learning, it's incredibly encouraging, apparently.
Okay, so let's recap Pastor Jung's approach. 3 key things to do before your Christian book club meeting.
First, summarize the reading. Or if that's tough, just note down a favorite sentence or two.
Got it. Second.
Second, reflect on your personal feelings. What emotions did the reading stir up in you? Jot those down.
Okay, feelings. And third.
Third, identify one practical way, just one specific action step that you can apply from what you read.
Summarize, feel, apply. Simple, but sounds really effective.
They really work together, don't they?
Yeah.
You understand the content intellectually,
Through summarizing,
you connect with it emotionally,
through reflecting on feelings,
and then you actively try to integrate it into your actual life.
through application. Yeah, it's a whole person approach.
It really is designed to move us past just, agreeing with ideas towards actual genuine change.
Making reading way more active, more personal, and hopefully much more impactful in the long run.
That's the goal.
So maybe here's a final thought for everyone listening. How could you take these ideas, summarizing, reflecting on feelings, looking for application, and use them outside of a book club?
Good question.
Could intentionally preparing like this deepen how you engage with, say, your daily Bible reading? Or maybe even a tricky article you have to read for work?
Or even just thinking about a meaningful conversation you had.
Right. It's really about shifting gears, isn't it? From just passively taking things in.
To actively engaging.
Yeah. And just seeing what kind of deeper understanding, maybe even personal growth might come out of it. Something to chew on.